Little Midwestern recipe here for you today. We're making bars, also known as bar cookies, don't you know? Maple walnut bars. You can use any nuts here that you like. I'm using black walnuts, hazelnuts, pine nuts. I mean, take your pick. Lots of different ways you can do it. First, we're going to make the crust, and a number of different ways that you can do the crust here. A lot of times they don't include egg. I like the egg because of the composition of the filling. It gives it a little lift. I also add a little bit of baking powder, but we're going to whip butter and sugar, splash of wild vanilla extract there. Whip that until it's nice and light and fluffy, just like we're making cookies or a cake. And then I have added an egg here off the frame, but we're just going to whip that until it is super nice and fluffy. Make sure to scrape down the bowl once in a while. For the crust, you can be creative here. Sorry, the video is a little shaky because I have the stand mixer there. I'm adding ground black walnuts. You can add acorn flour or another alternative grain. I mean, you could use like dock seed flour, but you can be creative there. A little whole wheat flour, whatever you want to do. About 25% of the total volume. And then we just mix that. I do it by hand because I lost my paddle attachment. Just don't overwork the dough, but it needs to be nice and thoroughly mixed. Now, let that hydrate for a little while. You can do it overnight. That'll be even better. And we're going to make the filling while that sits. And I've kind of organized this recipe here sequentially in the way that I like to make it instead of covering everything like the crust totally in one take. So we're just going to boil some maple syrup, brown sugar, splash of vanilla extract, and heavy cream, and a little bit of butter. The butter is going to cut down on foaming, give us a nice clean look. We're going to boil that for like 3 minutes, and then we're going to allow that to cool so it does not cook the egg, so we just have to beat some egg in there manually. Now take our crust and just press it into a pan. I really like to use parchment paper here because, as you're going to see, it just pops out of the pan like a dream when it's done, and it also keeps the filling really confined to the crust. It's going to soak into the crust, and if you don't use parchment, it's going to stick on the sides, and it can be kind of a pain, but you can do it either way. So now we're going to bake the crust. While the crust bakes, our filling is now cool, so we're going to beat in the eggs. Just beat them in there. Very similar to, a pecan pie, more specifically, tarte a sucre, just if you were going to use maple syrup. Now I'm going to add black walnuts to the maple filling, and then we pour this over the crust that is still warm. And make sure to scrape all of that out. Now, after we bake it, so you want it to be, it's like a custard, right? It needs to jiggle a little bit. It's going to look soupy, and not soupy, but it's going to look wet. Like the filling would migrate out if you cut it right away. It needs to be chilled completely. I chilled this out in a snowbank. You don't have to worry about chilling it too fast, but look at how nice that pops out if you use the parchment. The whole thing comes out, and now it makes portioning just a dream. I love using a bench knife for this. Then we can just put it right back into the pan and keep it on the counter for company or for yourself if you want to add a couple pounds to your waistline. This is not health food. This is celebrating maple syrup season. Small little bites will make it so you don't feel too guilty. But there you go. Look at that custardy inside. It's one of my favorite bars of all time. Really great for maple season. Again, use any kind of nuts you want. Full recipes on my website. Link at the top of the video description for that. Thanks for watching.